Greetings. Hello, everyone. I am Rachel Chase, and you are listening to the Creative Empowerment Show, Invoking Radical Love, with me, the show host and creator on the amazing Transformation Talk Radio Network. So grateful to be here with you all today, all over the place, different coasts around the nation. And I have a feeling there's a few people in other countries listening right now. Hey to you all. I know who you are. And I want to say hello to everybody in Facebook land who may be watching this live right now on my Facebook page, Rachel Chase Creative Empowerment. And I'm just really glad to be here with you all today. I know that there is so much going on. And today's show, we're going to be talking about sound healing. And we're on episode 5 today of my new show this year. When I embarked on this commitment last December, who would have known what kind of year we would be having this year? So I'm so glad that I did sign on to do this. It's been quite a journey to stay in the state of holding space for this intention of my show, which is to invoke radical love. And I think every month when I'm considering, you know, okay, my show's coming up, I'm going to be talking about this theme or that theme, but how does it apply to what radical love means and what does that even mean? And so this hour, I'm taking you on a healing and empowerment journey to uplift your spirit, help you process difficult emotions, find calm in the storms of life, so you can love yourself and others more deeply and receive the support that you need for your purpose, passion, and peace in this world that we live in. And so we'll be talking about sound and sound healing. And first, I just want to bring us into just setting an intention for opening up to listening and the whole thing of why we even use sound for healing and what that is all about is about intention. So this goes back to episode 1 of my show where I talk about 3 aspects of nurturing resilience. And really nurturing resilience is at the heart of my healing and coaching work. And if you're ever interested in working with me, you can go to my website, rachelchase.com, and see everything there on my sessions page and book a session with me if you'd like to. But here on my show, you'll get a taste of some of that healing work that I do with my clients. So before we get started on talking more about sound, I want to read a couple of quotes from Shakespeare. Because actually this week thinking about ways to uplift you, ways to bring us all into inspiration with sound, I started thinking about how really it's music that's the healer in our world, isn't it? If you can imagine a world without music, I don't want to be there, you know? A world without music would be lifeless. So um, here's a few quotes from Shakespeare just to inspire us as we consider what sound, what music gives us. If music be the food of love, play on. How sweet the moonlight sleeps upon this bank. Here will we sit and let the sounds of music creep in our ears. Soft stillness and the night become the touches of sweet harmony. So just thinking about how nature provides sound, birds, the rustling of trees, and how in especially right now and always we are being asked to connect more deeply with nature, to live in harmony with nature, to heal ourselves, to heal our earth, to live sustainably, to create a sustainable future. And as we nurture ourselves, as we nurture our souls, as we nurture our inner energy of love and peace and compassion for ourselves and others, using sound, using meditation, using the connection with earth, we're more and more able to collectively come together. And that is my dream for all of us, to be able to come together. There is so much divisiveness in the world right now. And so here we are, you and I together, envisioning what we are creating together, which is to build those bridges, to create harmony. And so it starts within ourselves, right? Harmony, creating harmony within. So wherever you're feeling disconnected from that inner harmony, or wherever you're feeling a sense that there is discord within yourself. Yes, I'm using a lot of musical puns today because I want to draw you in to remember that we are all made of sound, right? So wherever within your being, you are an orchestra. Your body is a multidimensional instrument. You use your thought, which is a vibration. You use your voice, which is the most powerful tool you have for healing and purifying. Your organs, your blood, the activity in your body all operate on a particular frequency, right? So we're vibrating. We're creating sound, maybe not always audible, but I beg to differ. If you put your head up to your beloved's chest, your ear up to their chest, you hear their heartbeat. If you put it up to their belly, you hear the gurgles in the belly, right? If you listen quietly enough, close to someone, you can hear the breath, you can hear perhaps even the blood moving through their bodies. If it were that quiet, I bet you could hear even more. And so this is about listening within to the wisdom inside of you. And the title of today's show is With Wisdom, Speak Truth with Power, using sound for healing and manifesting. So consider, what is healing for you? And what does manifesting mean to you? Sometimes when we use the word healing, everybody's different, right, Benny? At the beginning of the show producer was saying, everybody's different. And that kind of just clued me in it and made me think how, when we use these words like healing and manifesting, we each may mean something different by that. And I'm slightly distracted out my window right now because there's this little wren, this little bird that's sitting, keeps trying to get my attention. And there's something to that. I think this is a message letting us know that within ourselves, there's always this voice that may sound different at times, or it may not have a particular sound. We all experience our intuition in different ways. So when I say listen within and when I say healing, let's just take a minute to consider, what is it that you would like to receive some healing around today? Maybe it's emotional, maybe it's relationship, maybe it's heartbreak, maybe there's been loss in your life. Maybe you're thinking of others who need it right now too. There are so many reasons for people to want to receive healing in our world today. So as you receive it for yourself, you're helping the world. You really are. That energy of self-healing helps create a better family, a better community, a better world. And when you're considering healing for others, that is a way of giving. And when we give, we receive. So think about what it is that you'd like to receive healing around today. And think about what it is that you are manifesting. Now, this word is interesting. A lot of times when we use this word manifesting, we think about things like the law of attraction, or if I say it and speak it, it comes into being, or have faith and pray, or I am such a master manifester, I can create anything I want, or I suck at manifesting. I've tried it all and I can't manifest. I'm going to suggest that we drop any preconceived notions for a minute and consider the fact that we are always manifesting. Every day we manifest. We just do. We wake up, we create, we make breakfast, we have coffee. Manifesting is just about making something happen here in this place, or being here. It's a presence. It's a way of being in this reality that we call this world here. So I'm going to say, rather than what are you manifesting, how are you manifesting? And when we have a certain vibration or sound that we're connecting with, while we hold the awareness of a desire, and with the affirmative, with the affirmation that says, I trust that I am receiving this and something better. So just take a moment to consider how you can hold this vision and awareness that says, I'm going to allow this to unfold in the highest and best way for myself. Maybe it's the healing. And I'm going to hold the space for this and something better. Now I'm going to bring sound into this in just a minute, the healing and the manifesting. We're going to take a little break. And I want you to just stay with what it is that you would like to receive healing around, and how you would like it more that the fact that you are manifesting it, and what vibration you are holding while you are manifesting it. Interesting, something to think about. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in just a bit. All right, everybody. We are back on the Creative Empowerment Show with me, your host, Rachel Chase. And we're going to pick up where I left off in just a moment. I just want to say a thing or two here. I'm in Orlando, Florida still. This is September 23rd, 2020. And this is the week of the autumn equinox. And this is a time for letting go and embracing new adventures in our life, and really going for the things that we love. We only live once, so really going for what it is that empowers the energy of love within you. Talking to folks that are elderly and on their deathbed, really looking back on their lives, saying, seize the moment. You don't want to look back and go, why didn't I just go for it at the time? So just sharing a little bit about my life with you. My husband and I are really going for it. This Saturday, we are beginning a trek across the country. We're moving up to the state of Washington, which is actually the home of the Transformation Talk Radio Network.
Woohoo! Yeah!
So that's a surprise for some people. I know those of you watching this, some of my peeps out there have been wondering, so now what's she doing? Because originally, if you remember, the plan was to move to Oregon in the Ashland area, but then the fires happened, and my heart is with everyone out there still going through the fires and all of that. So dear friends out west. But where we were staying was right in the middle of the fires. So we had to think fast. My husband found another place for us up on the Olympic Peninsula. And so we will be in nature. So next month, my show will be much quieter. You know, I live on a busy street here, so there's traffic and all that good stuff going by all the time. So you're going to have a whole different background when you see me on my show and everything. So I'm really excited for the move, and just send us some good vibes, as I'm always sending you good vibes too. So, um, back to the healing and manifesting, back to thinking about listening within. Okay. And I want to take you into a little story, and then I'm going to do a little process with all of us. And before I talk about the story, I want to say this about the three aspects of sound healing here. The first one is listening. The second one is your voice, using your own voice for healing. Toning, making vowel sounds, singing in the shower, unabashedly, letting out a yell in the closet when you need to just get it out, rumbling from within yourself, growling if you need to, using the sound to soothe your heart, using a whistle to bring your energy up. The voice is an amazing healing tool. It's actually your most powerful vehicle for clearing stuck emotion. And the third is to play an instrument or use a sacred instrument. I use crystal singing bowls and Tibetan singing bowls. And if you're new to using sound healing instruments and how to use them, start small. This was my very first singing bowl that I got in New York City, and I think it was 2005 at the Asian Center, where um, Tibetan Buddhist monks were there to do their sand mandalas. And this is one story of sound healing in my life. I have many. This was right around the time where I decided to start studying sound healing with a wonderful sound healer named Rosie Warburton. I know you're out there, Rosie. And at the time, she had a center called um, Holistic Sound in St. Petersburg, Florida. Anyways, Rosie opened me up to a whole world of sound healing. So thank you, Rosie. And I had already been in love with sound as a young girl. I was a dancer growing up, and dance is the physical manifestation of music. We can't help but move our bodies when the music starts playing, right? Your body is the instrument moving. So, anyways, I was at the Asian Center, and the monks were using these little metal tools with the colored sand in them. And some of you may know this. And they make the ridge sound to get the sand out of a teeny tiny opening. And they're slowly, meditatively, they're on their knees, hunched over, all four of them on this platform, because the sand mandala has four sides. It's a square. The sand mandala is a physical manifestation of a vision of the cosmos as is created through sound. So in the beginning was the word, right? When we want to create, we must use our sound. Now, the place to come from in order to do this is stillness, is silence. In yoga, we talk about nada yoga, the sound before the sound. We wait for it to come through the cosmos, through our minds, through our beings, and into reality. So, a wonderful way to get to that place of stillness and listening is by using something like a bell, maybe, or a little Tibetan singing bowl, and ringing it and listening to it until it fades off all the way into silence. And you follow it with your mind, you follow it, and it's taking your consciousness with it all the way off into the distance, into silence. And from that place, you are open to receiving the next sound that comes through into your mind, into your heart, and into your voice. Now, this can feel very foreign to our Western minds here, feel very foreign to many people who are not used to this kind of thing, not used to sitting and just listening and following the sound. But I'll tell you what, one of the wonderful main benefits of doing this is deep relaxation. And with so much anxiety and stress going on in the world at large right now, especially, what better way to come to a neutral mind place to be able to allow yourself to feel more uplifted and connected with your soul, with your spirit, than to just have a simple instrument like this or use just your voice. Your voice is free. That's why we chant. That's why we do vowel sounds or toning. That's why we om. To regulate our nervous system, to connect with our deeper selves. I'm going to bring in a word for you here. I don't know that I'm pronouncing this correctly. It's an Aboriginal word and it's dadiri. And it means an awareness of where you've come from, why you are here, and where you are going, where you belong. And it means the quiet stillness and the waiting. The quiet stillness and the waiting. So if we're thinking about healing and manifesting and going for our dreams, our Western mind says, I want that, so I'm going to go get it. It's an object, it's a thing, it's a goal, it's a plan, right? But the indigenous mind says, I will allow life to show it to me. I will allow it to be revealed through me. And when we connect with our inner listening and the sound beyond and behind the silence and the sound, then we are creating the space that's needed to allow it to flow through into presence, into being, into manifestation. So before we go on our next little break here, we're going to do a little toning together so that we can come into a more present, peaceful place of being, no matter what is going on around you, in order to allow life and nature, the wisdom within us, we are nature, to arise. And that may feel a little unnerving because we're used to wanting it now and we get it now and we're going for it now. We want instant results and we want it now. That's the old immature way of being. We are moving into, hopefully, this new mature way of manifesting, which says, I trust, I know that nature is acting through me. So take a deep breath in, make a sound like a sigh, and do that one more time. Inhale. And now an an O, and a And I want you to feel that in your body. Very important to feel that in your body. Deep breath. And take another breath and relax. And I want you to practice that a few more times on the break. I'm Rachel Chase. We'll be back in just a bit. Keep practicing those ohms. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We're here on the Transformation Talk Radio Network. I'm Rachel Chase, and this is my show, the Creative Empowerment Show, Invoking Radical Love. We're on episode 5. It's September 23rd, 2020. And we're talking about sound healing. We're experiencing sound healing today, too. And we're talking about manifesting with sound. And I've been sharing a story or two about my experiences with sound healing. And I'll talk a little bit more about a story that I have with sound healing. And it's a little different than you might think. I was at a retreat in 2007 with Ram Dass. If you're not familiar with who Ram Dass is, look him up, Ramdass. And he's one of my core spiritual teachers, who I love very much. And I was having a profound awakening at this retreat. Was I would say awakening to who and what I am more as a spiritual being having a human experience, as a soul who is infinite, and having a very real healing experience for myself. And on this retreat on Maui, I was fortunate enough to get to go to. I set a clear intention to receive healing and connect with others who would understand me on a soul level. And I really got an answer to that prayer. I didn't dictate how that needed to look exactly, but I just trusted and knew that I was going to receive some healing and I was going to connect with others who would understand me. And boy, did I get it. And we were, at one point in the retreat, we were experiencing Kirtan. And Kirtan is a form of call and response, devotional music and chanting from India. And we were experiencing it with the great Jai Uttal. And Jai is someone who I admire very much. He's an incredible musician as well as teacher. And I like to think of him as a spiritual philosopher, although he may not say that about himself. But he really mentored me on this retreat too. And I really appreciate him for that. We have teachers that show up in our lives all along the way, don't we? So I had taken a sound healing course with my friend Rosie the year before that, actually, maybe 2 years before that. And I had already known about Jai. And so I was also excited that he would be one of the facilitators of this retreat. And he and Daniel Paul, incredible tabla player and musician, were chanting kirtan, and we were all singing and having this amazing experience together, very elevated. And when you get together in a group of people like that, it uplifts your spirit up and up, and you open wide open. And if you set that intention to heal and connect more deeply with life in those moments, you are going to receive what you need. And who knows what it might look like. And for me, what it looked like was a couple of different things. One was during the kirtan, I started getting up and dancing, and I had an sort of an out of body yet very embodied experience of becoming the goddess Durga. And if you look up Durga, Durga, she is the feminine embodiment in the Indian pantheon of gods and goddesses that is the spiritual warrior in feminine form. And she has all of these weapons, these metaphorical weapons to cut through the illusions, to cut through the barriers of what is in the way of our experiencing the more gusto of life, of experiencing ourselves as beings of love, more able to connect with each other on a soul level. So Durga is the gift of clearing all of that, whatever is in the way, of being able to experience the true depth dimensions of life, the richness of life, inside of our being, so that we're creating and connecting more on an inner level rather than this sort of facade, illusory level that we find ourselves in this world. So as we're singing and as we're chanting and as we're uplifting and connecting, I had an experience of becoming this goddess during this chanting. Very ecstatic dancing, ecstatic singing experience. So I invite you to explore Kirtan, and you can look up some songs on whatever music player you have or the internet. Just look up Kirtan and see if you find something that resonates with you. And you can just sing it out loud in your home when no one's watching. Just play and explore and find out what is there. Maybe look up Jai Utal. He has an Instagram page too, Instagram site, and he's always doing some kirtan camps every year. So that's a shameless plug for Jai. He doesn't even know I'm doing that, but I really appreciate him so much in my life. So, and then the other experience of that retreat was sitting in the space with other people who were earnestly desiring to connect more deeply with unconditional love. That was the theme of this retreat. One of the other teachers at the retreat was Michael Beckwith, Reverend Michael Beckwith of the Agape Spiritual Center in California. And you may be familiar with him on this show too. I know a lot of you listeners might know who Michael is, but he was one of the other teachers. So Ram Dass and Michael and Jai and Mark Whitwell, who is an amazing yoga teacher too. And the core of the work was about unconditional love. And as you get to know me more, you'll understand that nurturing resilience is unconditional love. Unconditional love is total acceptance of all these parts of ourselves, whatever they are. So, as you've been bringing to mind what it is you want to heal today, think of it this way: it's integration. It's about calling back these parts of ourselves, whatever those parts of ourselves that we felt ashamed of or guilty about or fearful of, or maybe just the energy of fear itself or something related like worry or doubt. And calling it into ourselves rather than trying to get rid of anything. Calling it in with a sense of compassion and acceptance that all of these parts of ourselves are just our human experience. It's just life. And we can get humble with that. And we can say, I love you just as you are, whatever it is that you're working on healing. And sometimes that's more challenging when we've been hurt, deeply hurt by others. So on this retreat, we're sitting in this room, and there's a lot of energy. You can imagine there were about 70 people there. And Ram Dass was having a discussion with us, and he was sharing, about his history and his experience with the divine. And one woman stood up and she asked the question, well, what is God anyways? And Ram Dass looks around the room and starts to gesture at everyone to remind us all that you are God, that you are God, that this is God, that I am God, that we are God, that all is God, that God is here and God is now and God is. And as he was doing this physical gesture and this expression with his eyes, he didn't even need to use any words. I went into myself and felt and saw a dynamic expression of sound, like sand, kind of like those Tibetan monks I mentioned earlier in the show. This visual expression of this divine energy that is rippling out and in and out and in. And I had a direct knowing in that moment of what it is to connect with the divine through sound, through vibration. So just consider that for yourself. Consider that sound and vibration is within you, that the wisdom that you seek is within you, that whatever it is you're seeking to heal and manifest is already there within you. It's already here. When we wait, when we listen, when we go into what the yogis call shunya, Yeah. Okay. Shunya is that divine listening space, like Dadiri, the Aboriginal word. So just consider this. When we come back in a minute, we're going to close the show with a powerful healing process. I'm going to do our invocation that I do every episode. And I'm going to express a way that you can create invocations for yourself. Because when we speak with power, with conviction, we're igniting and connecting with our soul's code of creation. Yes, this is what is going on with our sound, with our voice, with our truth. All right, you're listening to the Creative Empowerment Show. I am Rachel Chase. We'll be back in just a bit with our closing healing process and meditation. We are back, and this is Rachel Chase. Welcome back for the final segment of this show. We're going to do our meditation, invocation, and sound healing. And just so you know, my website is rachelchase.com. I'll be doing an online spiritual warrior women's training this December. And the information for that will be going up very soon here. So I'll be talking about it again next month. But if you would like to get in on the early bird registration for that, send me an email, and you can do that through my website, rachelchase.com. You may have some questions about it. I'm not going to talk much about it right now. I'll talk more about it next month. We just completed a 4-week online training with 20 women, and it was so amazing that I want to do it again. So for those of you who'd like to find out more about that, reach out, rachelchase.com. And so here we are, coming to the close of this particular episode about sound healing and manifestation. And I want to bring us into this space of sound and peace. So take a nice deep breath again, please. Exhale deeply, slowly release all your breath out. And listen to the sound for a moment. Just listen. Remember, the first aspect of sound healing is listening. So take some time this week to listen to something in nature. Listen to the birds, listen to the trees, listen to the water. And listen to your own breath. When you're in the space of listening, you are automatically calling forth that which is within you to be revealed as truth. When you're wondering what is true, the truth is inside. As you listen to my healing bowls, I want you to feel your breath going in and out. I'm going to play my crystal bowls for a moment, and my Tibetan bowl as well. Bringing your focus into your body now, perhaps placing one hand on your heart, feeling the rise and fall of your breath going in and out. When you're feeling into the sound within, and when you're listening to healing sounds, maybe sound in the form of music or native instruments or nature, feeling into your body where the sound is going. At this moment, I want you to go within and imagine that you have roots coming out of your feet and connecting down into the heart of Mother Earth. As you do so, the vibrations of the core of the earth are making a deep humming sound. Allow that deep humming of Mother Earth to come up into your body as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, feeling that the energy of the love of our divine Mother Earth is coming into your body and perhaps even humming along with that deep humming sound. As you draw it up into your root, into your belly, into your heart. Into your throat, into your head and above you. And consider what it is that you love about life as you hum along with the sound of Mother Earth. This is something that you can do anytime to connect with that deep healing energy that is always there within you, and allow the energy of it to come through, even if you don't know what it is that is going to happen, to allow the energy of that knowingness, that deep connection with life to move through your body, thinking about the things that you love about life, the beauty of life, and let the sound resonate through your being and through your voice. All right. I hope that you use sound healing in your life this month. I look forward to seeing and speaking with you next month. I know many of you will probably listen to the replays on Spotify and Apple Music and Facebook. And I look forward to fourth Wednesday of every month with you here on the Transformation Talk Radio Network with me, your host, Rachel Chase of the Creative Empowerment Show. Thank you so much for being with me today. And I will see you next time. Peace and blessings.